Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Today our class is to continue the database application development chapter 5, which is the web-based database application. So last class, actually, we have taken about some things about HTML, and also we learned how to deal with it. We learn also what is the meaning of the HTML and how it works. As we mentioned, the HTML is not a programming language, it's a markup language, which is all about tags. So we learned a group of tags last week, how to deal with them. So we learn about the HTML tag, body tag, H1 tag, paragraph tag, and also H1, H2, H3 until H6. Okay, we have taken many examples. So here we learned about the formatting, also how to format the text. Also we have taken the links to create hyperlinks in our pages. Also, we learn how to structure a table. So we learn about the table tag and table record tag, and also table header tag and table data tag. Then we have taken all of these examples. We learn also the row span to join multiple rows in one cell, and also column span to join multiple or to merge multiple columns together in one cell. So this one, as you can see here, row 1 cell 1 means this one uses row span to merge row 1 cell 1 with row 1 cell 1, sorry, with row 2 cell 1. So here we get one cell that covers 2 rows. And also here in row 3 cell 1, this one is a column span. So this is to join or to merge 3 columns together, okay, in one cell. Okay, we stopped in I think in slide 22. So we learned also about the lists. So we have taken the unordered list, also ordered list, and after that definition list. After this, we came to the CSS. So as I mentioned last week, CSS has 4 types. So the CSS could be written as inline style. So inline style means we format inside the tag itself. So in that case, the tag only will be affected. The tag that we format is going to be affected. Also, the other type is the embedded style. The embedded style, when we use a section for the CSS, so in that section, we can write the formatting that could affect the entire page. Okay, so here, as you can see, this one is the inline. As you can see here, the inline here inside the paragraph, we change the style paragraph, the style of the paragraph. We change the background color to blue and also the text color to white. So in that case, this text only is going to be affected, only this text, which is inside the tag itself. And in the embedded CSS, we use the what they call it inside the head. As you know, the HTML tag is the page tags to create a page. Then inside that we have the body, and also we have the head, right? So inside the head we could create, or we could use a tag of style. So here the tag is called embedded CSS. So in this case here we can create style tag, and inside we can configure it for the paragraph, for the H1, for whatever. Then after that, everything used based on the with the format will be changed based on that style section that we have implemented in this web page. Okay, so this is what they call it embedded. Here, the style type must be text/CSS. We have to make it like that. Otherwise, it may not work. Okay. Then we stopped here. External CSS. So the external CSS here is to take that style paragraph, section, sorry, this style section, we take it and we save it in a separated file. We save it in a separated file with the extension .css. So here, external style sheets contained in a separate file from HTML document. The link, like this tag, link tag element, is a self-contained tag used in the header section for an HTML document to associate the style sheet with the web page. Example on how to use external CSS in HTML. So this is how to embed the external CSS inside your HTML. So suppose that we have taken this style and we save it inside this file, mycss.css. Then here inside our HTML, we should recall, or we should call that file, that CSS file, using this link tag. So we use link, then after that rel equal style sheet between two quotation, double quotation marks. Then the type is equal to text/CSS. We have to define this, otherwise it doesn't work. Okay. Then after that, we should give the H reference, which is equal to the file name. Okay. So in this case, everything is going to work properly. Okay. So what we have to write inside the myCSS, actually, as you can see here, inside the style, we to create the style section, we have to use the style tag, right? But inside the CSS, we write directly the format like that. Directly, we write the format. Okay. So no need to write the style tag. Okay, inside the external CSS file, no need to write the style tag. We start with the formatting immediately. Okay, so we can write body background color is gray, for example. Then paragraph color is blue, H3 color is white, and so on. So whenever we need to apply this format, we only need to call this file inside the HTML. So later, if let's say we have 10 pages, uses the same CSS file, their format should be the same, exactly the same. And also, whenever we need to change the format, for example, we need to change the back color, the font color, and so ever, we have to go to only one place, which is the mycss.css. We modify the format there, then everything will be applied to all pages. That's why it's easy for maintenance, it's easy for management. It's better to use external CSS instead of using CSS inside your HTML. So what we have to do, we have to save the file as the css.css, as a CSS means .css file. Then make sure that you are not saving it as text. Yes, especially if let's say you don't show the extensions of your files on your PC. As you can see here, I show in my window, I enabled showing or displaying the extensions of files. So in your case, if you don't show this and you create file like that, new file, then you make text file like this, you will not be able to see the txt. So in that case, you are going to create, for example, my.css. So in this case, your file actually, the extension of your file is txt. That's why, in order to avoid that, you have to go to your file explorer. You have to go to file here, then options, then go to view, and untick this, hide extensions for unknown file types. Untick this option. Okay, then apply. Okay. Okay. So here you can see the extension. So in that case, you need to highlight everything. Then you can say my css.css. Okay. Now the format is already changed, and you can see the gear here appears on the icon. So inside this file, you can easily write this kind of formatting. Okay, exactly like that. So you can start with, for example, body, then paragraph, then after that you go to H3, for example, or H1 also. If let's say you want to change H1, for example, if let's say H1 you want to make it yellow, for example, like that, then you save this file, and after that you go directly to your HTML file and call your .css file. So that formatting actually is going to be implemented. Okay? Any question yet?
No.
Okay, good. Okay. Let us start with Eclipse.
Doctor, we use Eclipse or Visual Studio?
Unfortunately, as I mentioned, I want to teach you using the what they call it ASP.NET Core, but unfortunately the course coordinator doesn't accept.
Okay.
Now, where is it? Yes. Okay. Yes. You see, this is my post here, and this is her reply. So she said, as additional to JSP, right? So we can learn the ASP.NET together with the JSP. But since in the course outline JSP is required, then I guess they choose which technology for their project. So I think last time the SE department introduced Laravel PHP. This one is another platform, another what they call it framework using PHP, as well as in my class students, we will be using Board. Uh, Actually, the problem is that many people doesn't like the Microsoft products because they still think that Microsoft is selling everything and they control everything. That's why they don't like. But they don't know that everything now becomes open source and free. And also the ASP.NET is very easy to deal with, and also the maintenance is very easy. The code is very clean. The technology is very fast. Yeah, they don't know about it. But really, I'm trying my best. I have tried many times since 2 years. I'm trying to change their mentality to go towards ASP.NET, but still not succeeded. Anyway, now to explain to you about the JSP, how to use the JSP and how the JSP works. And for the last part of the MVC, we try to learn about the ASP.NET for your only. Yeah, for final project, you can later you can select the ASP.NET Core, then you can implement easily a clean software and very modern one. Okay. So let us use the Eclipse. I'm really so sorry about that, but what to do? I did my best. Okay. Uh, can you see here with dynamic web project? Yeah, we can go to new. We select dynamic project like that. Then here we have to write the project name. So for example, test. We put it here in the course itself, in the course folder. Okay, target runtime. No need to change anything here. Just keep the things as they are. Here, in order to show the perspective, we should use this.
Doctor, if
Yes.
I have the Eclipse IDE, not the web developer one, do I need to install the web developer or do I
No, 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 no. No, it's the same. It's the same. It's
but
the same exactly.
when I try to open the new dynamic project, it doesn't have in my in my Eclipse.
I will tell you how.
Okay.
I will tell you. Here will do this. Java, others. I don't know how to really display this, but yes, like that. Uh, you install the one for normal Java, right?
Yeah, yes.
So you have to go and install some inserts. I don't know really. Let me check where to find it. So yeah, you go to here, Eclipse Marketplace, then write search. Just sure which one you have to. Yes, you can install this Eclipse tools. You install this, then everything inshallah will be okay. If let's say you want C and C++ for this, uh, Otherwise, if let's say you want to use Python, for example, Python like that, so you search about Python. Is it correct or not? I don't know what's the spelling, the correct spelling. I think it's like this, right? Anyway, you can search it here, then you install the Python, then everything will be ready for Python. Okay, so here our project now actually is empty. So here we have the web content. If let's say we, I don't know, yeah, if let's say we want to create a new HTML file, and we call it index. Okay, then here we can see the HTML file, how it started, and so on. Okay, if let's say now we want to compile, we have to run this. I don't know whether very complicated, you see. Always use the circle. Okay, let's see that. No, I think we started wrongly, because we have to install the what they call it, the Tomcat. I'm not sure whether the Tomcat is installed or not. Last time it was installed, but maybe for some reason I remove it. I'm not sure. Yes, it's installed. Okay, let us close this. Close all, and we go here. Projects. We delete this. Okay, let us go here again and try to create new project. New project here. Dynamic web project. Okay. Then here we put the name test, for example. We have to go to the folder. Let's delete it. Okay, here new runtime. Yes, we have to install the Apache Tomcat. Here we have to define it. So we select Apache Tomcat here. Create a new local server. Next, Tomcat installation directory. This one actually is not necessary, I think, but let us see. Apache Software Foundation, and we have to click this tab. Okay. Yes, this way. So as you can see here, program files, Apache Software Foundation, then Tomcat 9. Okay, we had to remove the last slash. Then finish. Okay, now it's default configuration for Apache Tomcat. Then after that, next, generate web XML deployment descriptor and finish. It takes a little bit time. Guys, we don't be upset, okay? I will do my best to take the JSP as examples so you understand how the JSP works and everything, how is the structure of the project and everything. Then after that, we immediately move to the ASP.NET, inshallah, and you can see how the tools are very different and the productivity is very high and code is very clean. Yeah, don't worry about it. Okay. So here, what we have now, we have a new project. What we want to do now is to create an HTML file. So the HTML file must be in the web content here all the time. This is the structure of JSP index, and like that. So here is the file index. So if we want to run index, so here we can see that the Tomcat 9 server is already here. But the problem is that the status is stopped. Status is stopped. So if we click next like that, I don't think it can work. You see, it shows many errors. Started. Okay, that looks working. Okay, but because our page is empty, so we don't have anything here to display. In the body here, let us start with the H1 right. Come to this project like that. Yes, it works. Okay. So here to make it easy for ourselves, actually, I'm going to copy this example. Okay, I'm going to copy this example. Okay, as you can see here, we have this. This thing has a problem. Why? Because this one is not there. The file is not there. Okay, let us run this. Okay, await header. This paragraph has a blue font. The background color of the blah 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 is as exactly as the. Okay, let us go to the previous page here, and let us take this style and we put it inside the head. Okay, this file we put it in the head. Okay, so here what do we have inside the head is a style, right? A style section. So the style section formats the paragraph, changes the background color to blue, the text color to white, and also the H1 background color is to this. I don't know what color is that, but let us use gray. Okay. Then if let's say we run here, as you can see here, the things already changed. Only this one doesn't work. H1 background color work. So what if, oh, we don't use H1, sorry, we use H3. That's one. Yes. Okay. So is there anything hard in this? I mean, in this technique? It's not hard, right? So if let's say we want to format H2, for example, then we want to make the background color equal to, for example, green, and for example, color of the text is, let's say, blue, for example. This one gray and color is white, for example. So in tags, you have to write this way, actually. After you finish, you put semicolon after every property. Okay? So now, if let's say we put H2 like that, this is an H2 header. Okay? So we don't have to do anything here in the tag itself. We don't. As you can see here, everything is as we format exactly. Okay? Any question in this regard? Any question, guys, before I move?
No.
So I suppose that everything is clear. Okay. Now, what I want to do is to create another file. So the other file is CSS. We cannot find CSS here. CSS. Okay, CSS file. I create it. Then I call it my file. Like that. Okay. So my style, actually, in my style file, I take all of this, cut this, move this from here, put inside my style. So that line, if you want to keep, that's fine. If you want to, there's no problem. Okay. Write my formatting like that. Then I go here in the index. You see, go to the slide and see how to use that. Okay, this is the command like this. We have you see here where we have to put it. We still have to put it inside the header, right? So here inside the header, but we don't have to write style. We don't have to style section. Okay. So we put the link like that, but here instead of this, we use my style. Let's see. Don't know why it shows an error. So multiple. This one. Is there anything wrong? Oh, the close. We did copy the close. Oh, they forget to close this like that. Okay. In the slide we have we have forgot to close this tab. Okay, let us now compile and we see how it looks like. Now it doesn't work, you see, because the style is not applied. Style is not applied. Why? I think we did not save, maybe style sheet type, my style.css, everything is correct. I don't know why this one has an error. Single duration of text. I don't know. I didn't want the link to external. Yes. To mention JS. This. Which right? So they start with different ways. So the sequence is like this. Then after that the type. If you put this first or later, oh, you see this one is a special character. This one is a special character because we copied on the PowerPoint. Still have special characters, that's why I'm going to delete it. Now it doesn't have any error. You see it's already. So be careful when you copy from the slides, as you can see now, when we copied, we had some special characters here. So that makes creates a problem. We have to, it's fine. There's no special characters in our code. Uh, here is the structure, how it works. So we have to link our SB to my style or to the CSS style file. We want it could include H1, H2, paragraph, table, and whatever, lists or whatever. Then the style sheet actually is going to be applied to all contents inside the page. Okay, is that clear, guys?
Doctor, do we need to install Apache Tomcat to use this?
Yes, you have to install any web server, but the common one is Apache Tomcat.
Okay.
Yeah. If you follow, actually, I give you last time the softwares. I gave you softwares last time, and I told you how to install, right?
You we did not install we only install SQL and Oracle. We did not install Tomcat.
Okay, so you have to install the Apache Tomcat 9 or above. And after that, for JSP, what do you have to copy this to? Okay, you have to copy this to folder files inside the Apache Tomcat in order to allow it to connect to the Oracle. Okay, we go to C, program files, Apache Software Foundations, Tomcat, then after that bin, not bin, lib, I think, lib, yeah. So inside lib here, we actually, I think I already copied this before, as you can see here, UCP and also the GDBC. Okay, you copy them here to make sure that everything is going to be working properly. Okay. Otherwise, your website cannot connect with the Oracle database. I think you already have these two files, right?
Yes.
Do you have? Okay. One more thing after this. You have to install the Eclipse. Eclipse, no need to install. It's only you have to download and extract. Only extract. Then after that, you run this file. Okay. And after this, nothing to do. You have to go through the steps that I did. When you create your application, you have to create your Apache if there is no Apache server. Otherwise, if there is an Apache server, you can use the existing one. So no need to create an Apache server for every project. That will create for you many problems later. Okay. So any question in this regard? No answer.
No.
It's okay.
Okay, now we learn how to build our CSS file and how to link it to the HTML. Okay, now what we are going to learn is how to create HTML forms. HTML forms. Okay, let us see what is the HTML forms. HTML forms are used to pass data to a server. So whenever we want to save data to the server, we have to use HTML forms. Okay, a form can contain input elements like text fields, checkbox, radio buttons, submit buttons, and more. Okay, a form can also contain select lists, text area, field set, legend, and label elements. Okay, then the form is used to create the HTML form. So to create the form, we have to use the form tag. Okay, let us see how the form tag looks like, or how to create the form tag. Okay, a simple HTML form with two input fields and one submit button is like this: HTML body, then form action. Here is form action.asp, then method is get, and after that we have first name, then we have input type equal to text, name is name, which is the field name, And also the last name here is input type text, and the name is last name. Okay, then after that we have input type submit, then value submit. So the value submit is the text that's going to be displayed on the bottom. Okay, let us copy this. Copy this and put it here. Okay, you see here the special characters. It's a very big problem. Okay, now I think everything is fine. Okay, let us run and see how it works. Okay, now this one is and something here, then we submit. But here we have an, you know why? The error? The error is form action.asp. What is this? Okay, let us go here and see. Here in the definition of the form, we have action here, right? So we have form underscore action.asp. Okay, this file actually supposed to be here, supposed to be here. So we have to create this file first, and we have to insert the code. What code we have to insert here? We have to create or to write the code that's responsible of sending the data to the server and saving it into the server. Okay, so here this file, what they call it, code behind page, code behind page. So here we have an HTML. That HTML receives data entry from the user. Then after that, it should be passed to the form underscore action.jsp or .asp server. Okay. Let us go and see here. So example, required attributes. Here we have action, URL, blah, 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 get post. Okay. As you can see here, we have method get. Okay. So types of methods actually two in web development. We have get and post. Get and post. Get is to retrieve data from the server. Post is to save or to send data to the server. Okay, you can see here the description. Get appends the form data to the URL name equal to value, and name equal to value, like that. Okay, so this is the format. And then the post sends the form data as an HTTP post transaction. So that post transaction actually is going to be sent to the server in order to be saved in the database. Okay. So method types, we have get and post only. So that get and post is going to be used with the forms only. Okay, HTML forms, the input elements. What kind of input elements we have? We have text field, we have password field, we have radio button, we have checkbox and submit button. As you can see here, we have input type here is text, input type here is text. If let's say we want to create one for password like that, password. So here we can say password. Input type is password. And here is whatever. Whatever you want to name. Okay. Finish. Then here you can see when we write here, everything is clear, but when we write here, everything is covered. Because this one is password, right? So we have text field, password field, and we have radio button. We have checkbox. Button actually is to select one option. Checkbox is to select multiple options. Submit button is the button that we use to save or to send data to the server. Okay, any question so far? HTML is very
No.
simple, guys. What you have to do is only to memorize the components and memorize how to create the tags and how the tags looks like. That's all. So here for text fields, the input is one line that a user can enter text into. So here only one line input field. To look like okay. So here how the HTML code above looks in the browser, it will look like this. Then we have password. So the password field, the input type is password. Okay, so it will look like this, but when we key in the characters will be covered, will be masked. Okay, then we have radio button. So radio button is only to select a single option. So you either select male or female. You cannot select both of them because this one is what they call it radio button. So in the radio button, we have to create multiple options. So for every option, we have one input tag. So here, as you can see here, input type radio. The text displayed is male. After that, another option, input type radio, name is 6. Also, this, in order to be in the same radio group, you have to use the same name. You have to use the same name here. Otherwise, it will be considered in different group. Okay. So then the other option is female. Okay. Okay, I want to show you some example to explain how it works. So as you can see here, we have input, type is radio, name is 6, then value. Okay, and after that slash greater than. Okay, let us here input type equal to then after that we have to close this to avoid the error. In type is like that, then name is equal to name is 6 and value is equal to name. Okay. After that, we have to put BR. BR is to break the line and creates a new line. So here we write male. And for the second option, we write female. Okay. Here if we run, we see either to select this or that. Okay, because these two are linked to the same property, to the 6 property. Okay, let us close this. Suppose that we create another one, another group of radio button like that with the same name like this. Okay, So here we either select this, that, or this, because all are connected to the same group, to the same property name, right? But if we change this, for example, to whatever, this one is also whatever, and we run here, see that this one is linked together, but this one is not linked to the above one. Okay, because we use different property, right? So the property that links the radio buttons or the radio options is the name. Okay, clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay, for the check button, we have type, name, value. Okay, we have type, name, and value. So here we change the radio button to check button. Like this. Checkbox. Sometimes forget books. Okay, and here you see the name have to be also connected to the same property, but here we have, for example, many options. Fine. So if we run here, oops, we forgot something like this. Okay, now here you see the checkbox is square, not rounded. Okay, so here still one option only we can select, but for this we can select multiple options. Okay, so this is the difference between the radio button and the checkbox. Okay, submit button actually, as we have taken, this is the submit button. So submit button, the type is submit to define the submit button, and also after that the value has to have some text here to be displayed on the button. So if let's say we use this command like this, submit, and the value we make it save, for example, save. So it will show save, not submit. Okay, and it will show, it will do the same functionality. Okay, after that we have drop down list. So the drop down list is called select tag. So we have select, then inside the select we have multiple options. So every option have value, then we close the option. Okay, so as you can see here, let us create select. Then here we have option. So here in the option, what do we have? We have value here inside the opening tag. Value is inside the opening tag. Then the text that we want to display is at the middle of the tag. okay, between the open and closed. So value inside the option here, inside this. Here we have the middle of the tag. So here we write whatever we want to show, but inside here we have to write the value. Value is equal to, for example, option 1, or Toyota, for example, this one here is Toyota. We take here another option, that. Or let's see. Okay, then we run. Okay, we can see here. We can select whatever. Okay, why the button come here in the same line with the select? Because we forget to put paragraph, new paragraph here. We have to put new paragraph after the selection to break the line, to create a new line. Okay, like that. Is that clear, guys?
Yes. Doctor,
Okay. Yes.
can we change the size?
What size?
For example, like the box, can we change the size of the box?
This one. Yes. Yes. Definitely can.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Definitely can. Here, what you have to do is to go to the this one, to the select. Then you write style like this, and لا إله إلا الله. As I said, I always forget this. لا إله إلا الله. So we can go to the here, to this style equal to yes. Supposed to be correct. Style equal, yes. I didn't use equal. I put the then here we have to put width equal to, for example, 4 cm. I'm not sure if it can work this way or not. It's supposed to work. It doesn't work. Anyway, actually, I don't remember. Honestly, I'm telling you, I don't remember everything in HTML. Only when I have an active project, I do styling for something. Then I remember how it looks like. But for now, if for example I want to change select like this, select box with so here you can go there. You can see how it look like, how the command look like. Select this. Oh, if you want to use yeah, they use bx. I use cm. I totally forget. because I used to work with latex. They can use CM and BX. It's the same. So I thought it's the same. So anyway, if you want to use this like that, okay, you can put this here, for example. Okay, this is the select. The margin is 10px. Focus is blah blah blah. Then after that, once you select here, the command actually is going to be applied. Okay. Okay. Clear. So this is one
Okay,
option
then.
is to use the style general style here, or if you don't want to use that, you can come here inside the select, as I said, but instead of this, you can write exactly similar to this. Width is, for example, 150 px, and maybe margin. So we take this. Where's the select here? So we have to put like that, like this, and also if you want to use focus, change the focus, you also need to write it here. So let us remove this from here. Save, run. Okay, still this. Okay. So here, if let's say you want to make it like 450, for example, and the height, if let's say you want to change the height as well, height is, for example, 50 dx, like this. Height is wrong, right? Yes, you see. You can play with it as you want. Exactly. Also, the text, if you want it at the center or whatever, you can play with that. I intentionally I put big numbers to show you how it makes difference. Okay. Any question? Any
No.
question, guys? Okay.
No, no.
So your task now is to create this. Okay. Write 2 HTML codes to produce the 3 following forms. So the first form is main menu.html. The second form is registration.html. So when we click on registration form, it should open this. When we click on display form, it should show a different thing. And this form actually is the main menu. Okay. And when we click X, it's supposed to close the tab. Okay. So here is the registration.html. So what do you have here? You have text here, and also after that you have label, you have text box, another label, text box, another label. Then we have radio button, also another label. Then we have check boxes, and after that we have another label along with the selection box. Then after that, 3 buttons. First button is to reset, to clear all the entries. The second button is to submit this things to the server, and then here we have back to return to the menu. Okay. Can you make this? Can you make this, guys?
InsyaAllah.
Okay, so inshallah tomorrow I want to see this. Okay, I want everyone to create these things. Only these forms. We still not talk about how to save to the database and how to retrieve from database. This is another thing. Okay, then here we come to JavaScript. JavaScript is the most popular scripting language on the internet and works in all major browsers such as Internet Explorer, Firefox, Chrome, Opera, Safari, and so on. It's used to add functionality, validate forms, communicate with the server, and much more. So mostly JavaScript actually is what they call it client-side. Mostly it's used for client-side activities. But in many cases, they use it also for the server-side activities. Okay? But in our case actually is we are going to use the JavaScript to do validation, to show dialog to dialog boxes to the to ask, are you sure you want to delete this? Yes or no, for example. Or for example, when we delete something, we could show something to show that the process is still going. So we can display something like that. Okay, so here everything for the JavaScript is going to be used for client-side activities. Common uses of JavaScript: display a message box, select list navigation, then edit and validate form information. So if let's say we show this form, for example, we have some constraints. For example, the name cannot be less than 2 letters and also cannot exceed 20 letters, for example. Then somebody came and write only 1 letter. We're supposed to show something here, right? We're supposed to show validation error. We should say to the user that the name cannot be less than 2 characters. Okay, or cannot be less than 3 characters or whatever. Okay, so this is what they call it, validation. Create a new window with specified size and screen position. Also, we can create image roll over. Also, then when we roll over an image, we could do something. Then after that, status messages, we can display status messages. Then after that, display current date, we can display the current date, and also we can do calculation. Okay, but this calculation is supposed to be at the client side. Okay, writing JavaScript to HTML document. So the HTML script tag is used to insert a JavaScript into an HTML page. Okay, so we have to use script tag to insert JavaScript, exactly like inserting the what they call it, like when we insert the sheet here. We need to create section, right, in the header. Sorry, in the header. Header, we have to create section of script, right, to tell the system that this one is a script. And this script has an opening tag and closing tag. So inside here, we can write whatever we want to write. But the type here, if you go back to the cascaded style sheet here, if you go here, the type of the style here is text/CSS. But for the JavaScript, the type is JavaScript, not CSS. So this is one of the difference. Okay. So here, as you can see, the script type is equal to text / JavaScript. And also it's inside the header, supposed to be the head. But anyway, they put it here inside the body. Anyway, it can work also inside the body because they here wants to display the data. But if let's say you want to run something in the background to show something, then in that case you can put it in the header. Okay, JavaScript can be put in the body and also in the head section of an HTML page. So the option here, who decides where to put this? JavaScript inside the body or head is you. If let's say you want to use or to display something in the body, then you have to put it in the body. If let's say you want to use to create a function, JavaScript function that could be called anywhere inside the page, then in this case, we have to put it in the head. Okay. So this one is an example. If let's say we want to show something here, body HTML, we remove it. This one is script. This one is okay. This. What we have written is only this code, right? So we wrote JavaScript. Sorry, script type is text / JavaScript. Then we close the opening tag. After that, we write document.write p. This one is a paragraph tag. Then plus date. This function actually is going to retrieve that. And this one is the closing tag of the paragraph tag. Okay. So at the end, we will get a paragraph tag retrieved from the JavaScript. Okay. So here, what we want to run, you can see here, this is the current date and time. Okay. And as you can see here, the thing is formatted, as you can see, right? Formatted. But here we don't have any format, right? Here we did not write any format. We only created a paragraph tag, right? But because this paragraph tag actually is formatted here, background should be blue and the color should be, the text should be white. So this my style actually is applied to the entire page, right? Is applied here to the entire page. So that's why this paragraph, even though it's created by JavaScript, is also going to take the same style. It's going to take the same style. Okay. So again, you can see it's already formatted exactly similar to this. And here we can see this is the date and time retrieved from the system. Okay. Another thing here to display a message with JavaScript. Okay, to display a message with JavaScript, we can run this. Okay, script type equal to text JavaScript. Then after that, we write alert. Welcome to my web page. Welcome to my web page. So this is this is actually going to display this message, as you can see. So if let's say we want to take this and we put it here, let us put it here inside the body also. and we run. Doesn't display, right? Because this one actually is not triggered. This one is not triggered. Okay. Here they put it in the header, and we put it in the body. Okay. Like that. It's also not going to display. Why? Because we only here, what we have done here is only to define the alert, but we did not show the alert message. We did not trigger the alert message. Later we will see how to trigger the alert message and how to display it based on some checks or based on some conditions. Okay. The other thing here is what they call it JavaScript and events. So here, if let's say we want to display that event, that message, when we click on the button. So when we click on the button is what they call it an event, right? So the event of clicking on the button should run something. So we have to define the events using the JavaScripts. We cannot define them using HTML. We cannot define them using Java. Okay? We can only define the events using JavaScripts. That's why JavaScript is very important for web design. So events here is actions taken by the web page visitor. So when the web page visitor come select something maybe from a list, or maybe click on a button, or maybe click on a checkbox or whatever, then something have to be done, right? Something have to be done based on the behavior of the visitor. So like clicking on click. So the clicking event is called on click. Placing the mouse on an element called on mouse hover. On mouse over. Okay, this is the name of the event. Removing the mouse from an element is called on mouse out. So when I put the mouse on the slide, this is called, when I bring the mouse on the slide like that, is called on mouse over. So at that time, the on mouse over is going to be triggered. But when I remove out the mouse pointer from the slide out, then the trigger called is on mouse out. So when I enter the component, the on mouse over is going to be triggered. When I remove the mouse from the element, the on mouse out is going to be triggered. Okay. Also, we have event called loading the page. So that event name is onload. Also, on unloading page called on unload. So this is the very common events that we can use. So the most important one is the on click, and also onload. This is the most important. If let's say when we created this, we created the alert, but we did not trigger it, right? So if let's say we want to trigger this message when we load the page, then we have to create the event on load. Then after that, we have to trigger this alert. Okay? So later we are going to learn step by step. Okay. See here the event and what they call it, event handler. So event actually is the event name that we have to deal with in our coding. And here is the real event. So when we click on anything, the event handler is called onClick. When we load something, the event handler is called onLoad. When we mouse over, the event handler is onMouse over. So mostly we add the word on to the event, right? We add only the word on to the event name. Okay? JavaScript and events. So JavaScript can be configured to perform actions when events occur. So the event name is coded as an attribute of an HTML tag. Okay, so the event name is coded as an attribute of an HTML tag. As you can see here, inside the HTML tag, we coded the event here. We coded the event. So here we have an inline JavaScript, inline JavaScript. Okay? Because JavaScript also can be online, inline, can be external, can be embedded, can be whatever. Exactly similar to the CSS. Okay? Okay, this example display an alert box when the mouse is placed over a hyperlink. Okay, let us copy this. Let us put it here, for example. And will be up. Okay, let us now. So here we have this, right? We have this home. When we move the mouse on the home, I didn't click anything. It shows immediately. I only move the mouse on the hyperlink. It shows this message. Okay? Why? Because here we said on mouse over, on mouse over. But if we say on click, then let me create another paragraph here. If let's say we make it like that, and I hover here the mouse, okay, the mouse hover doesn't show anything, but if I click, it shows something immediately. Okay, so this is what they call it event. So we can program our event as we want it. So here, instead of this on click, we can do whatever. We can say on page load, we can say on click, on mouse over, on mouse out, on whatever. Okay, and we can write very simple, very basic JavaScript code to display an alert, to display an alert. And this is what they call it inline JavaScript coding, inline JavaScript coding. So in this case, the code will be written inside the tag, inside the tag. Okay. Any questions so far, guys?
No.
As I mentioned, always you have to remember this kind of programming. Actually, it relies mostly on memorizing the commands and memorizing the way of writing the tags and memorizing the way of using the quotation, single quotation or double quotation or whatever. So you have to remember all of this stuff. Okay. Otherwise, every time you have to go back to your reference to understand or to see, to check how to write something. Okay. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So how do I differentiate when I want to use JavaScript and when I want to use only HTML? Is it when I want to create some function I use JavaScript, and then if I just want to display things I use HTML?
No, no, no. It's not like that. I will give you some example. Okay. So actually, we are coming to this, but anyway, because this is really a very common question. when you write something like this, when you want to write something like this, like static components, there is no there's no interaction, no changes based on your behavior. We do not want to show anything based on our behavior on the page, right? So in that case, everything could be HTML. Could be HTML. Also could be JavaScript, because as maybe you know or you don't know, the Gmail, the entire Gmail website is created using JavaScript. Everything is based on JavaScript, because here, as you can see, when we hover the mouse, there is something change here, right? When we hover the mouse, the style of the message is changed, right? Also, when we hover here, there's something displayed, right? So everything interactive here is done using the JavaScript, because we cannot make it using the HTML. So anything interactive must be created or must be done by JavaScript. Okay? Clear?
Okay.
Yeah, if let's say you want to do this, then you want to click on this option to show the read messages or maybe start messages or something. Then after I click, something will be changed, right, in the screen on the browser, right? When I click here, something will be changed. So messages, read messages only will display, unread messages only will display, right? So based on this option, based on this behavior, we have to use JavaScript. Otherwise, we cannot do this all of this interaction. Okay? You want to receive an action from the user and do something based on that, change something in the interface based on that action without sending the information to the server. Then you have to do the calculation using the JavaScript. Okay, I will explain more things to you to understand. Hello, guys, are you with me?
Yes.
What happened to this? Yes. Okay, as I explained before, the let me display first the paint. Okay, as I mentioned before, here we have what they call it web server, right? Web server. And here we have the browser. Okay, so in the browser here, when we write something here, we give or send the get command to the server to receive reply. Okay, to display something here in our page, right? So the change happened to this page here is costing us a trip from the client to the server and back to the client, right? This is only when we use HTML. So when we rely on HTML with Java, for example, or with the C#, for example, or whatever, then the things to, in order to change something on the browser here, we have to go to the server, we do some processing here, we come back and display the new things inside our browser. But what if we want to change something here in the browser without going to the server? So in that case, maybe this change is based on mouse hover, or maybe based on mouse click, or maybe based on selection or whatever. Then in this case, we have to do JavaScript and change the text. Okay, we call JavaScript to change something inside the page without going to the server and coming back to the browser. So that's why they call JavaScript as client side code. The other things like JSP, C#, ASP.NET, whatever, call it server side. Okay. So here, in order to be able to change anything inside our page without traveling to the server and going back to the client, in this case, we have to call JavaScript. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay, one more thing here. We have something called form validation. So the form validation is actually when we create a form like this, but we want to do validation, maybe to check the name length, maybe minimum is 3 characters, maximum is 15. The last name maybe minimum is 5, maximum is 20. Then password, for example, must have special character, must have capital and small letters, must have numbers as well. Then we have to check. So this is what they call it, data entry validation. Data entry validation. So we need to validate the data entry before we send it to the server. Okay, because it's not practical to send the data one by one in order to do validation. So we cannot send them to the server and check is it possible or accepted or not. So we have to check here locally at the client side. So this operation is called data entry validation. Data entry validation. So data entry validation is one of the important things that we have to use with, we have to implement with JavaScript. So here, it's common to use JavaScript to validate from form information before submitting it to the web server. Is the name entered? The questions to validate. Is the name entered? Maybe they left the name empty, right? Then is the email address of correct format? Is the phone number in the correct format also? Is the length of the name is accepted or not? Many questions. So this kind of questions are what they call it form validation. So here, validating form fields use the double quotation or to check to determine if a form field has information. Okay, so here, for example, if document.forms form name dot txt field name dot value equal to this. So if we want to check whether that field has value or not, we check using this operation equal then empty empty double quotation to check whether the data is empty or not. So in this case, if the value is empty, then we can show an alert. We can say that name field cannot be empty, return false. So we can do this kind of validation for every column, for every field. Okay. Then here, example form validation. We have HTML head, blah, blah, blah. Then function validate form. And here we have var x document dot blah, blah, blah. And we check if the x is null or x is equal to empty empty string, then alert first name must be filled out. Okay, so instead of this x, sorry, this x is okay. Instead of the my form and if name, we put the form name that we used, and also we put the field name that we have. Okay. Then after that, here is some code, HTML code to display the form, my form, and also the first name, which is if name. Okay. So here, if let's say, let us take this. This and control V. We put this. Okay, here as you can see, we use script, right? So this is what they call it, embedded JavaScript. Embedded JavaScript, not inline. Okay, here, what kind of function we created? We created a function called validate form. Validate form function actually is called when we press on the submit button. When we click on the submit button. Okay, so here, what will happen in this case? Let us compile this. Okay. So this one, if we left this one empty, then we click submit, some error should display, right? But now we write something. What happened here? Demo form, because here we use demo form for the, what they call it here, demo form ASP, and this file is not available. That's why it shows an error here. Okay, but if let's say we remove this, we click submit, you see the message here. First name must be filled out. Okay. Okay. Anytime you click, you validate the form, then the message is going to be displayed. So what if you have many fields inside your form? So in that case, you have to go through every field and check the validity of the data entered by the user. Okay. Okay, your task is to modify your HTML codes to validate the registration.html before submitting to the web server. Okay, so here you need to do validation for the form to check all fields of your form. Is it has data or not? Maybe it's empty, it's unselected, or maybe the length of the name is not acceptable or whatever. Okay, so we have to do this task. Okay, then now we stop on the JSP because time is almost done. Next week, inshallah, next class, inshallah, we are going to explain about this, the JSP. We stop here. Okay. So, any question before we close?
Doctor,
Yes.
for the alert one, if we don't want to do the box, do you know, like, for example, if I put the wrong password, right, in some website, then it just show the red light, the red words that just show wrong password. Can we do that?
Yes, you can do that. You can do that, but
But
this is the, if you have to do it from scratch. Why?
oh,
Because
okay.
this too basic. That's why I don't like, because if you want to create your final year project using this kind of tool, you will suffer a lot. That's why I'm changing to modern tools that provide a very modern approach to show the validation, data validation, and also to make the student life easy. Okay, So that's why later I will explain to you. When we go to Visual Studio, I will explain to you how to use all of that stuff. Okay?
Okay, Doctor.
Here, for JSP, in order to use JSP in better way, you have to learn also a framework. So you have to go and learn, for example, the Spring framework. Okay? Spring framework is good, but a little bit complicated, especially for you guys. Okay?
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah. So in your case, instead of displaying a message to the user to tell that the password is wrong, or maybe it doesn't include the numbers, it must include number, letters, and special characters, for example, you want to display a red line below the box, right?
Yes.
You want to show red text below the box itself. So in this case, you can create a red, what they call it, you can create a label. You can call it error, for example. Then you format it based on the name or based on the type to display a red color text. And after that, instead of displaying the message, you can display the text.
Okay,
Okay?
Doctor.
Yeah,
Okay.
you can make it. It's easy. But you have to make it from scratch, as I mentioned.
Okay.
Okay? So guys, please, you have two tasks you have to done. This one is the main form. You have to create it. When we click on the registration form, we have to go to this page. Okay, we need to display this page. Okay, after that, we have to create the data entry validation for this form using JavaScript. So we don't want to have any empty field. Okay?
Okay, Doctor.
Yeah. That's all about today. Tomorrow, inshallah, we'll see what you have done. And in case you have any problem, easily you can go to Google. You can search about whatever you want to do. You will find many answers and just follow. When you find an answer, try to understand it in order to use it in future without suffering. Okay? Thank you and see you, inshallah, tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you, Doctor.